Welcome to Forbes Books Author Voice. I'm Adam Whitty, CEO of Forbes Books, and today my guest is ANDRES PIRA, CEO of Blue Horizon Development and the new Forbes Books author of Homeless to Billionaire. Andres, welcome to Author Voice.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here.
So what an incredible story that you have, literally from homeless on the streets to a billionaire real estate developer, entrepreneur, business mogul in Thailand. Tell us a little bit about the journey.
Oh, well, it's been a long journey. Everything started with about 16 years ago when I moved to Thailand. I'm originally from Sweden, but I never really loved being in Sweden. It's too cold and too dark, so I was able to buy a one-way ticket to Thailand. I wanted to start a new life, a new chapter, but it didn't go very well. So I came to Thailand with around $100 in my pocket, and it led pretty sour pretty quick. So I ended up homeless on the beaches, and I was too proud to call any friends or family back home and say that I failed. So I was struggling every day and became homeless there, and until I found self-development and how to control your mind and emotions. From that day, my whole life changed, and I got a job as a real estate with handing out brochures for an office there. And from that day on, I got promoted from marketing executive to sales manager, and then sales director. And after that, I founded my first company within real estate. But it took about 3 years to do that, and today I'm one of the larger real estate developers in Phuket.
And so when you were homeless, people didn't give you money, you got a book. Tell us about the book that somebody put in your hands and how that changed your life.
Well, after sleeping many days on the beach, I thought I'd maybe call an old friend and ask him if he can help me, because I was in a bad situation and I refused to call parents or sisters I had that pride in me, I couldn't do it. But I called him and said, I'm in a very bad situation. Can I borrow some money, or can you send me some money? Because I'm homeless on a beach in Thailand and I would like to at least get a room or something. And he said, well, I don't have money, but I will send you a book. And it was a self-development book about the mind, how to control thoughts and emotions. And I thought, well, instead of sitting here and feeling sorry for myself, I might read the book and at least focus on something else. And when I finished the book, I didn't believe it at all. I was angry. And I actually went through all the exercises on this book saying that, okay, I will disprove it because I really don't believe it. But I started to get the similar results. And it started with the power of visualization and how you can actually create images in your mind until they become reality. And I started to try, but in a small scale. And every time I did it, it worked. And I got that thing that I was thinking about. And after that, it went higher and higher. And then I could start to visualize bigger things in my life.
You're a big believer in the power of goal setting.
Of course.
And every year you talk about the power of 101 goals. Tell our viewers more about that.
Yeah. Every time I say that, people get a bit shocked. How can you write 101 goals in your life? But most people have to understand that you have to put small goals into any goal setting, because when you only have bigger goals, they become very hard to obtain, right? But when you start with smaller goals, it can be a new DVD player, a new TV, it can be a certain city to visit, a certain person to see. I mean, all goals, blend them with big goals and small goals together, because as soon as you cross the small goals down, it feels like you're moving forward. And then you can go to bigger goals. It's very important to even have the smaller goals there. So 101 goals that I write, it can be anything from just buying a certain new pair of shoes or a new DVD player, or like I said, a TV and stuff. So always put the small goals in. At least you have the sense of moving forward every time, and it gives you more confidence to achieve the bigger goals.
Andres, you have over 20 different businesses in multiple industries, over 200 employees in your company. And one of the first things that you do for every employee is you make them jump out of an airplane. Tell us about that.
It sounds crazy, but it works. And because I love skydiving, I love to jump out of planes. And what I realized after I did it the first time is, if you imagine, is it anything more scary in life to jump out of from an airplane 4,000 meters up and fall 200 kilometers an hour? I haven't found something more scary to do until I did that. And when I did it, I actually eliminated all the fears that I have. And fear is the only thing that stops you from achieving anything. Because that will always stop you because you're afraid of failing, or you're afraid of what other people will think about you and all that. But if you tackle fear directly and get employees to do it, they're actually not afraid anymore, and they get a confidence to achieve the things they want. And after I do that, I ask them to start to write their goals. But at least they start believing in them, and I'm killing the fear with them. So that's actually a very, very great thing to do. So,
you talk in your book about the power of goal setting. You talk in your book about something called full color goal setting. What is that?
Full color goal setting is because most people, when they have goals, they might say, I want $1 million, or I want a car, or I want a house. But what you put out there is it's very unspecific. It's very hard to get something if it's not very, very clear in your mind. I mean, if you want a car, if you want a new car, what house, what color is it? How does it look inside? How does it smell? I mean, how often will you drive it? How will it feel? So you need to be very, very specific with any goal setting, and that's how actually they become much quicker to you.
And in that same part of the book, you talk a lot about giving back. And you've had immense success. You've given back in so many ways. You talk about the importance of giving back. You talk about something called vibrational giving. I want you to talk about what that is, and also why is it so important to be so focused on giving back along the way?
Many people ask me that question, and many of my friends and family members and stuff, they actually don't like because they say I'm overgiving. But I believe that that's what part of my success is, because when you give back, you always receive tenfold. And it's not, I mean, people can test it out. I still get emails from all over the world that tested out these methods. And then I get an email a few weeks later and they say, wow, it worked. I got an unexpected check in my postbox, or they got a promotion or something like that. So it's very important to give back, but it's important to never expect it, because it's not your job how it's going to happen, or what kind of great news is coming along you. I just believe and know for certain that as soon as you give to others, then it comes back for you tenfold. And I believe that if you want success, make other people become successful. If it's money you want, make other people make money. And if it's love you want, make sure to love yourself so you can give it more into others. So whatever you give first always comes back to you tenfold. And it's a universal law as well. When you give a certain energy away with a great feeling attached to it, it actually comes back to you tenfold every single time. Don't need to worry about how or how long it's going to happen. That time will pass anyway, but just go around and have it with a certainty.
Andres, you've had just incredible success in real estate development, obviously in a very short period of time. There's young entrepreneurs watching all around the world that have seen what you've done and would love to do something similar. What words of advice do you give to a young entrepreneur who might want to get started by investing in real estate or building a career in real estate?
With any real estate, it's also very important. It depends on the geographics, where you are, what city you're in, what kind of investment opportunity there is there. Every country is different, but it's important to start small, at least. I mean, you can work with the banks, or you can do it by yourself. It's I need to see that area to be able to give them advice, but always savings is one of the most important things to any wealth or to any success. So what do you do when you have enough savings? Most people, they don't know what to do with it, but real estate is one of the most safest and sound investments you can do in the world. I mean, it cannot be stolen, it cannot be it cannot be carried away. And also, we've seen what stocks do nowadays, they go up and down. But at least, yes, real estate can go down certain years, but at least you have something to touch, right? So for me, it's one of the most important, and has been the most important investment to the ages of humankind.
Andres, you've got your hands in a lot of different things, like every great entrepreneur. You've got something big next, I'm sure. Tell our listeners, what is next for Andres Pira?
I always love to do new things. I don't like to sit in the same wheel and just experience the same things all over again. So the next thing that I'm really passionate about is to give back now. And that's why I'm releasing the book, Homeless to Billionaire, for people to understand and read my autobiography. If I can do it, if I can go to a foreign country, I couldn't speak the language, I didn't know the culture, I was homeless, but to be able to do that in a short period of time, 10, 15 years what it took until I started to become successful. I'm 100% sure anyone can do it, even if there's in their home country. But if I can put these principles to test and they can test them out, I know that the people who wants to pursue them, they will get the same results. So for me now is to give back and to help other people become more successful.
Andres, where can viewers learn more about you and also learn more about the book?
They can go to ANDRESPIRA.com, and then they can also download 2 chapters of the book to see if they like it or not, which I'm pretty sure they will. And they get also 2 free PDF samples to when they do it, if they pre-order the book right now.
Homeless to Billionaire author Andres Pira from Forbes Books. Thanks for joining us today on Author Voice.
Thank you very much.